Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sneaker Updates. This will be Sneaker Updates number 6. As you guys have seen so far, this has now been a weekly series because you guys seem to like it so far. Essentially, in these videos, we talk about a variety of different sneakers. For instance, some Nike and Off-White sneakers, perhaps some Yeezys, Jordans, whatever it is. We're going to be talking about what went on throughout the week of sneakers, what news we've got going on. But with that short little introduction out of the way, why don't we jump into the first update?
All we gotta do is get you a little fixed up. You know, get your hair cut, give you a good clean.
Alright guys, so we are going to be starting with some Nike and Off-White because that seems to be what you guys really like to hear about the most. To kick it off with the Nike and Off-White, we're going to talk about the Nike and Off-White Converse. And if you guys were unaware, Converse is owned by Nike. So on May 12th, we saw the first edition of the Off-White and Converse Chuck Taylor 70. Of course, this pair had the translucent upper, but now we are getting a new Off-White Chuck Taylor, according to Pirates, on October 8th. The retail for this shoe should be $130, just like the previous pair. But you may see with some overseas retailers and stuff like that, the price will tend to fluctuate. Now, the way the last pair dropped, it was sort of like a shock drop, but not quite. Basically, the product page popped up 5 minutes before the drop. The drop was at 9 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. And it was actually on the Converse section of Nike.com. If you go to the top of Nike.com, you will see a little section with an arrow. That's the Converse sign. Click on that. That's the Converse section. If we don't get an early link for this, you can go to limited editions and it should be right under there. So basically, they probably won't be dropping on Nike sneakers unless, of course, something does change. I'll keep you guys updated in case product page comes up for the Nike sneakers app and website. But so far, I believe it will be on the Nike.com website on the Converse section. Now, of course, when it comes to these shoes, there's going to be plenty of other stores that are going to be receiving these as well. For instance, Undefeated, Kith, Shoe Gallery, SNS, and Clothing. I don't feel like going on about this because I'm going to be making a full, in-depth how to cop guide so you guys could know how to get these shoes in your possession. Of course, if you happen to be new, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay 100% updated on these shoes and really any other hype shoes that we're going to be talking about today or any day. Now, in addition to that white pair that we were just talking about, there is apparently a possibility of a black pair releasing. Now, I believe this pair is only a sample as of now, and there is no confirmation of a release, unlike the last pair that we were talking about. But it's just a possibility, and I figured I'd mention it just because I want to show you guys everything that's going on. But anyway, with the Off-White Converse out of the way, why don't we move on to the Off-White Halloween-inspired blazers. Of course, when it comes to these, we have two colorways. We have the All Hallows Eve, and then we also have the Grim Reapers, both releasing on October 3rd. So the first update regarding these shoes is that I added a bunch of raffles onto my Twitter when I made my How to Cop guide. I only had a few up there, but now there is a ton that you guys could sign up for. So my Twitter is Keith Adam 10. All the raffles are pinned in a tweet, and I do believe that I have another tweet actually that has a couple of more that were just recently added today. So if you guys do get a chance, I would highly recommend signing up for all the possible raffles because although the chances of being able to purchase a pair is slim, there is still a chance, and I suggest going for every single raffle you can. Anyway, moving on to the next update regarding these, I still am pretty sure that these are not going to be shock dropping just because there is a pretty significant amount of stock supposed to be dropping on Nike sneakers. So I do believe it will be a Leo drop still on October 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Product page isn't up yet, but it should be up by October 2nd, perhaps on the 1st. And when it comes to Nike sneakers Europe, they're already up there. When it comes to Nike.com Canada, they're already up there as well. I go way more in depth into this in my How to Cop video, so if you want to check that out, feel free to. But the main thing I wanted to mention now is that there will be a sneakers pass for these for New York City and possibly Chicago. However, there is going to be no 15-minute warning, at least what I'm predicting. This is simply because all of the last shoes that we've been seeing, especially shoes that have multiple different pairs releasing on the same day, they haven't had that 15-minute warning. It's just been the sneakers pass drops and then that's it. So of course, be on the lookout for the sneakers pass. Then in addition to that, possibly a behind the design page. And of course, when it comes to these pages, you want to be scratching on every single image as soon as it pops up because you never know, maybe one of those images is swipeable and perhaps you'll be able to watch a video, skip that video, and get a chance to purchase the sneaker. Finally, the last update I wanted to mention regarding these sneakers, I actually already mentioned this in my October sneaker releases video, but if you haven't already seen it, basically what I'm trying to tell you is when it came to my How to Cop guide, I mentioned that some sizes may hit around 300. The reason I mention this is because, first of all, I always like to go conservative with my predictions. I would rather you guys make more money and be very excited compared to making less than what I'm predicting and be slightly disappointed. And also keep in mind, I only mentioned some sizes. Perhaps you'll see some prices between 300 and 400, but for the most part, I don't want you guys to be worried. There's going to be a ton of profit to be made off of these. I'm expecting the prices to be in the ballpark of around 500, perhaps a little more. But anyway, that will do it for the Off-White Halloween Blazers. Moving on to some new Off-White sneakers that we just got to look at. At the Spring-Summer 2019 show, Virgil debuted a lot of track and field Nike and Off-White shoes. Of course, these all do appear to be athletic sneakers, and I'm not sure if all of them are going to be releasing, but if they do, of course, I'm going to keep you guys 100% updated. But of course, I just wanted to throw these in because I want to keep you guys updated on everything. And finally, I just did want to mention that unfortunately, there is no news on the Serena Williams Off-White 97s and the Blazers, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking about them, and that's completely fair. I myself am wondering about them. Even the Nike reps that I've spoken to, they don't even know what's going on when it comes to these shoes. So I do believe this is going to be a shock drop, mostly because they're extremely limited in comparison to the Halloween Blazers, which have a somewhat significant amount of stock compared to previous Off-White and Nike collaborations. So when it comes to these Serena Williams shoes, definitely expect a shock drop. So unfortunately, there's nothing else I could tell you. But anyway, with Nike and Off-White out of the way, let's move on to some Yeezys. So on October 27th, we have the new Yeezy Boost 700. The retail for these shoes will stay at $300, and apparently they will be releasing on Adidas.com, Yeezy Supply, Consortium stores, and probably the Adidas app as well. Of course, guys, I will be making a how to cop guide for these. It shouldn't be a difficult cop either. It should be just as easy to cop these as it was to cop the OG 700. When it comes to resale predictions, because I know a lot of you guys are asking about these, I did mention this in my October sneaker releases video. I'm expecting them to be somewhat profitable, but nothing significant. Probably something very close to what you're seeing with the OG 700s right now, because there is going to be less stock on these, considering it's only one release compared to 3 releases on those 700s that we just saw release. But there is, of course, going to be slightly less demand on these because they're just not the original colorway. But again, I think there's still going to be some profit to be made. I'll keep you guys updated, though, later in the month. Moving on, we got a new look at the Yeezy basketball shoes in hand, and also it looks like part of this shoe is actually 3M, which I find pretty unique. So if these do happen to be releasing, I'll be interested in checking out a pair. Perhaps I'll do a review for you guys. But now with the Yeezys out of the way, why don't we move on to some other Adidas shoes? So first, we have an in-hand look at the Ultra Boost and Bape collaboration releasing during the Super Bowl. Of course, what we see on here that we haven't seen with the previous pairs, we do see those gold accents, which in my opinion makes the shoe look really, really nice. So hopefully I'll be able to get a pair. Hopefully you guys can get a pair as well. But moving on, we have the Daniel Arsham's Adidas Futurecraft 4D, and it will be releasing October 12th for $450. This was another sneaker that I mentioned in my October sneaker releases video. And although there is a high retail of $450, if you're considering reselling the shoe, I still do think these are going to be profitable, just based off of how the other Futurecraft 4Ds have done, especially those of which were collabs. Now moving on, we have the Gold Medal Ultra Boost 2.0, and this will be re-releasing this month. Unfortunately, there's no date as of now, but the retail will be staying at $200. So expect these to release on Adidas.com, just like those Ultra Boost multicolored 2.0s did. Moving on to Jordans, unfortunately, there's not much that happened with Jordans this week that was notable, at least. But we did have a look at the DJ College Jordan 3s. We have the father pair, and then we also have the another one pairs. Now, he actually has a free giveaway for these shoes, and I linked the giveaway on my Twitter, but I did something really stupid when it comes to this. Apparently, and I found this out late because I didn't pay attention when I signed up, if you share your certain affiliate link with this giveaway, you will actually get more entries for every person that signs up with your link. Now, I didn't know this because I wasn't paying attention like an idiot, so I actually posted J23 apps. So every time you guys sign up on my Twitter, that's an extra entry for J23 apps. I don't care though, my main point is just getting that link out to you guys so you guys could have a chance at getting these. Now moving on to some other shoes, we have a new Sean Wotherspoon releasing. I believe this will be releasing sometime in spring. Now of course, as you can see when it comes to this colorway, the entire upper is a light blue or baby blue colorway in comparison to what we saw with the last pair, which was more of a multicolor colorway. Of course, this is only a sample, but I am confident that the colorway that is releasing is going to be very similar to this. So of course, that's a shoe that I'm definitely looking forward to, but when it comes comes to any of these shoes, feel free to let me know your opinion down in the comments. Finally, the last shoe that we're going to be mentioning today is probably the most limited shoe we're going to be mentioning today. The Adidas R1 Paris will be releasing on Adidas France. There's only going to be 200 pairs worldwide. So of course, if you do have an opportunity to pick up these pairs, I don't know if they're going to be re-releasing or restocking, but if you get a chance to get these, I would definitely recommend going for them, just because even if there's not a lot of demand for them, 200 pairs really isn't a lot. So of course, try to get these if you can. I don't know if there's a release date as of now though. Alright, so that will conclude today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Also, feel free to leave a like if you perhaps learned a thing or two. Shout out to all my sources, which include Hypebae, Pirates, J23 app, Boost Links, and Yeezy Mafia. But with that, feel free to subscribe and turn on post notifications if you happen to be new, just to stay updated on every single shoe I mentioned today and any shoe I'll mention in the future. With that, though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Always in my way, knocking me over every single day. Get your foot off my foot, Get your foot off my foot, yeah. I should have run the other way. Now there's just one thing to say. Get your foot off my foot,